All right. Let me get myself a little prepared better. A better angle to what I need to see. Okay. Hello. Hi, Janet. Hello. So, y'all know I'm good with the playback, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with Oh, you're welcome. Oh, one man, his dog, and the great outdoors. Thank you. Hi, Tarot with Shabanu. Hello, honey. So we're going to talk about our ancestors and how to work with them, how we can work with them, the altar, all of that good stuff. We're going to get into it today. Okay, that's what we're doing. Hello, Julia. Hello, Julia Gill. How are you? All right. So our ancestors, let's jump in. I'm so excited that y'all are here. I'm so happy. Okay. So our ancestors, who are they? They are our dearly departed loved ones. They can be family members, of course, friends, lovers, any person that we had a love for, a genuine friendship or kinship with is our ancestors. And they are here because when we pass on, our body, our flesh, of course, is gone, but our spirit is on the other side. We already know these things. So what we want to do is with our ancestors, because they walk with us, because they are with us, we can ask them to help us. Now, they already know, and our spirit guides already know that they can't just intervene. And it's a difference between our spirit guides and our ancestors. Our ancestors are part of our bloodline, part of our lineage, part of who we were when we were on this earth. These are people that we've grown to love and hold dear to us. And our spirit guides is who is appointed by God to guide us on this earth and to protect us on this earth until God has given them the okay that it's time for us to go to the other side and become an ancestor. All right. So I just want to clear up the difference between the two, and they are not the same. Okay. With our spirit guides, we really don't use our spirit guides that much for spell work. They are here to just make sure that we stay on our life path, to guide us. They can help us with anything that we ask them for as far as our life is concerned. And when we're doing our spell work, that's when we want to get our ancestors involved, because they can really get into places that we don't have access to, influence certain things to happen in our environment and on the other side of the veil to make sure that things usher through in our favor if we use our ancestors properly. So I want you guys to know that, feel comfortable using your ancestors. You don't have to use orishas.
You can use our ascended masters for anything you want. That's why there are ascended masters. But I want you to know that you do have your ancestors, and I would prefer that you work with your ancestors a lot more, just because I feel like the Orishas have been through, they've done so much, you know what I mean? And our ancestors are here, and they want to help. They don't have nothing else to do. I know that they do, but they can still help, and they want to, and we can honor them, and they can show us how they honor us by helping us on the other side with things that we may need. Okay. So there are certain things I would like for you guys to follow, some tips when working with your ancestors. One of the big things is only work with ancestors who you really had a good relationship with when they were alive, or only work with ancestors who give you good vibrations. Do not, I repeat, don't just be working with ancestors willy-nilly. You don't need friends of the family. You don't need best friend of grandma and this person who really didn't mess with your mother. And you don't need all of that around you. You want people around you or energy around you that is positive, that is uplifting, and does not have its own agenda. That is very, very important, because when we're working with our veil open like this, when we're working with our veil open, it gets to the point where we are exposed to light and dark energy. So just like, our ancestors can come through and do a lot of positive. If there's one that may want something done for a cousin or something else, or maybe you don't know what they've bartered or done on their side to make them want you to do certain things for them. Okay. So you have to know your limits, your boundaries, and also know that whenever you're asking them to do something, that you're going to give back. So make sure that you just mess with people that mess with you when they were alive. Okay. And if you didn't know them, make sure it's somebody from your bloodline, your parents, grandparents. You see what I'm saying? Or you want it to be like that. You don't just want to allow any energy to come and dwell, because a lot of times, then you'll have to do that extra work to fix whatever they've messed up. Okay. If you have a stepfather who adopted and passed away, is it okay to put him and his family on an ancestor altar? Yes, it is. If your stepdad adopted you and you love him and you trust him, yes, put him on the altar. If you want to put his family and you felt like y'all were very close and they accepted you like you were their child, yes, because that is your soul family. So please, by all means, put them on. Now, if you had a friend of a grandmother who was wicked, you see what I'm saying? And she was okay, but your grandmother really loved her, you don't have to put her on your altar. You see what I'm saying? That's between her and grandma. Like, you don't have to do things like that. If it was, let's say you had your brother and his best friend or something like that are together on the other side, because this happens where two people may have passed and you want to just put your family member. You can just put your family member. You don't have to include the best friend. You see what I'm saying? It's like that. Okay. So just something like that. Always give offerings. Okay. That's one thing that is very, very important. When you're working with your ancestors and your Orishas, I say this every time: do not ask for nothing and you're not willing to give nothing. I don't care if it's a goddamn mint. Give it to them. If you want money, you come to them and light a money candle. Put a mint next to it. The money will come. Put some candy or some fruit, or if you don't have that, you can give them some of the food that you ate that day, a piece of chicken, anything that they liked to eat. You can feed that to them. But you always want to make sure that you give them something for something. If you don't have food, you can burn some incense, you can burn ancestor money. And let me show you some ancestor money in a second. But you can give them pretty much anything that you know that they liked in this life. If, let's say, they like to smoke cigarettes, you can light a cigarette and burn that by the altar. Or you can blow cigar smoke. We do that all the time. That is such a wonderful offering, is blowing the cigar smoke onto the altar, onto the picture of that person who used to smoke cigarettes or smoke cigars, leaving a glass of alcohol or a shot, or the little mini bottles of alcohol, the little cute things. I saw this cute little bottle of Hennessy. I didn't even know they made them little tiny little bottles of Hennessy like that. I said, people are so creative. I'm so out of tune of what is actually happening in this world. I thought they only made the little cheap liquor in the little mini bottles. Child, they make the Hennessy and the Patron and all of that in the little, but anyway, you can put those little things, whatever they like. So you can go buy those for $1 something and put that right next to it. Something where you're just showing gratitude and appreciation, and a simple thank you will work wonders as well. Okay, so no, you don't have to put his mother. You see what I'm saying? If the mother didn't accept you, don't put his mother. Just put him. And that's just to show him appreciation. She should have her people doing whatever they need to do for her anyway. And that's exactly what I mean. You see what I'm saying? There'll be one person that you really care for, but another person that they're close to on the other side. You don't have to include her. She was not part of your soul family. That's why she didn't want to accept you and didn't like the energy of you taking her son away. That's all that was. You know how mothers are with their sons. My mother's the same way. You should have saw her face at my brother's wedding. I talk about that all the time because that was hilarious. Hilarious. Okay. Anyway, so these are wonderful offerings. Now back to the ancestor money, because this is one of my favorites to do, is ancestor money. Ancestor money is a way of giving them a form of currency on the other side of the veil. Okay. Now, when I go to see my grandmother's grave in Brooklyn, she is in a huge cemetery that goes from Brooklyn to Queens. And there are like different sections for different ethnic groups. So there's the Asian side, the Jewish side, the Hispanic, and it's just a whole bunch of different place. But anyway, in the Asian side, there's always ancestor money. And in the Spanish side also, but there's always ancestor money blowing around. And it's funny because you'll either find little pieces of it blowing around, or you'll see like just the whole bill just blowing. It's funny to see it. But usually I will see these type of bills at the grave sites. And you can just burn these, and this is our way of giving them currency on the other side of the veil. And what you'll do, what I do normally, is I'll just pray over, pray and talk to my ancestors, and I will have my candle lit, and I will just dip the edge of the candle in the fire, let it burn, and drop it into a nice fire safe bowl. I have this metal bowl that's outside on the back porch, so I can't show it to y'all now. You can also fold it towards you. You can also use ancestor money. I'm gonna show you a bunch of different ways you can use ancestor money. I think I'm gonna do a video on that. Yeah, I'll do a video because I don't want to get into all of that, but I'm gonna show you a bunch of different ways you can use ancestor money also. But that's the way you can give it to them, is by burning it, speaking it out to the person that you're giving it to. So for you, Tara with Shabanu, you can say, I'm giving this to my stepfather. I'm offering this ancestor money to my stepfather. And this is for him to have currency, to have something that he can go do whatever it is that they do and want to buy on the other side. You also have the bigger ones, so you don't have to have those small ones, but that's a nice universal pack that you'll be able to find. They got these. Okay, this is a lot bigger, and the currency is bigger. I don't know how much this is. Oh, there you go. Like 100 billion or something. And then they have these also. And you can burn them all you can just burn one of these or 5 of these, whatever you want. What a lot of people do is they will burn one, especially if you're doing consistent magic with your ancestors. You should burn a couple every day of these small ones. Just burn a couple every day. Just as you wake up, as you're sitting at your altar and you're thanking them and whatever it is, just burn a couple and thank them just off the break, because they if they are literally, especially when you're in your spiritual awakening, it's a lot of work for us and for them. Remember, especially when you're a chosen one, or you're the one that's resetting the karma for the family. It's a lot going on. And when you're resetting that karma, this is perfect for the ancestor conversation. When you're resetting the karma, it's because you're redirecting the family in a new way, okay, which is more healthy and all of that, abundant and prosperous and all of that good stuff, okay? And then those ancestors will then be reborn under your lineage. So now you will be the first of the ancestors. So usually, if you're part of my tribe, what's happening is the universe has called you to then be the one to redo that karma. Y'all already know this, okay? But what is to learn is that you're the first one. So you were the first one to set the I don't want to say the karma, but you had the first initial wounding, okay, of whatever it is that you're wounded by. Let that be betrayal and heartbreak and all the other stuff that we go through, loneliness. So whatever it is, you feel me? We'll be the ones. We were the first ones born. Just wrap your head around this. We were the first ones born that had the initial karma, or had the initial wounding that set the tone for all the karmic experiences for all of our descendants thus far. So we have now been reborn in this lifetime. And a lot of us, this may be our last time here on earth to correct that. That's why that was the correction age that we were going through for a long while. Okay. And when we get to that point, now we're here, we've redirected, or we're in that process of redirecting. When we get into that state, those same ancestors that are helping us, that's why they're helping us also, will then be reborn and be able to be reborn under the glory of what we have then created, now that we've cleared the karma from our initial wounding that we created from the beginning, that they were born under. Am I making sense? Okay. I know it's deep, it's a lot, but that's what the whole process really comes together as. So wrap your head around that part as far as dealing with your ancestors. So it's not just for you to get money and It is while we're in our life, we want them to help us get the money and get all the other things, but it's also to put us get the money so that we can have a happy life. And when they are reborn 10 years, 20 years, as our grandkids, our great grandkids, whatever, you feel me? Now they have the knowledge and the power. They know the magic. Because we are going to teach this to our kids. We are teaching it to our kids. That's the whole point of this. Okay. So there you have it. So now that we know how to take care of our ancestors and the reasons why we should, because that's basically the reason why, is because they want to be reborn into happiness. They don't want to just end their existence on the unhappy state or the traumatic state that they passed in. Okay. So there we go. Okay. So one man, his dog, and the great outdoors says, say we didn't grow up with our family or didn't have a good connection with our family. How would you suggest connecting with our ancestors beyond the ones who was around us in the living? Okay, that is a wonderful question. First, in that case, I will only deal with who I feel I had a connection with. Your ancestors who are on the other side, they will reach out to you. You will notice them through synchronicities. and you will feel their energy. Now, remember, you don't want to be, because I don't want y'all just out here willy-nilly communicating with spirit. That's not the goal. Even with your ancestors, it don't have to get to that point. What I would like for you to do is only work with who you feel comfortable with, who you know. When your true family come around, when they truly love you, you'll feel that warmth. You'll feel that protection. You'll know that it's them. And it won't be any doubt in your mind. When you know it's not them is when you feel scared, uneasy, any type of jittery. If something negative pops in your mind, if something dark pops in your mind, if you feel any type of tiredness, if you get sleepy, that's when you know that that's not your family and they're not there for your higher good. But then you can also speak to your spirit guides, which is appointed by God, and ask them to clear out anybody who's not your ancestors. Be specific about that as well. Okay? Be specific about that. I hope that answered your question. But when you want to speak to your ancestors, the first thing I stress is only mess with people who really mess with you. So if you don't know them and you weren't that close with your family, because I have friends who were adopted and they don't know their birth parents at all. That is perfectly fine, because I promise you, your ancestors will still find you. They will still follow you. And the family, the soul family that the universe brought you to is your family. So that's who they wanted you to have. Let me also be clear with this. A lot of us have a path that is very, we would want to say lonely, okay? Because we were alone in the path and has been alone in the path. That is a reason for that. And I used to wonder why, but it's the purpose of it is because they don't want you to be as conditioned as the rest of the world, especially when you're supposed to be on this type of path. So the goal for some of us is to have not been as conditioned. That's why we were kind of left to fend for ourselves and learn on our own and build our own community. And even if we built that community and it ended up not being right, now that we know better, we can pull back, restructure, which is what this is all about, and redirect and build it the right way this time with the firm foundation and all of that good stuff. So please, like, pay attention to just the vibration of the energy that comes towards you. And if ever you feel uneasy or scared or anything like that, immediately cleanse, escort that energy out of the house. Okay? Open up the door, some sage, and tell it to please exit right now. And if you need anything extra, you should, check out the YouTube channel. It'll be plenty of videos up there to show you how to do protection candles and cleansings and all that type of stuff. But yeah, that's important. Okay. Can ancestor money be printed from the internet and used? I have never. So I would say it's a no, because they use a certain type of paper. It's a certain type of paper that each of them use. I don't know. This one's on paper. I've never done it that way. I wouldn't. But it's if that's the only way you can get it, then by all means do what you have to do. What I would do is pray over it. I would anoint it and bless it with some type of money oil, and then still burn it as ancestor money and let them know that this is your offering. You know what I mean? It's your intentions. I really feel like that's really, at the end of the day, it's your intentions of what you want the money for. But I prefer for you to buy it. But if you can't get your hands on it, then print it and just anoint it, pray over it, and then burn it for your ancestors. And that'll be a wonderful, I think they will just love it either way, to be honest with you. That's how I'm feeling. Hi, not really there. Hello. So not really here asked me what is my favorite way to contact my ancestors. Honestly, I just talk to them. But I am okay with talking to spirit. I mean, I know this might sound creepy, but I am comfortable walking into a cemetery and talking to the spirits in the cemetery. I am when you're or so as you ascend in this spiritual game, you'll be able to be allowed to do certain things. Okay. And I am allowed to communicate with spirit on the other side. So I just talk to minds. I say what I have to say. I try to keep a candle lit though. Um, which get into the altar. Let's get into the altar because that's another way that I communicate with them is through my altar, which is so beautiful. So let me grab something, a tray. And if y'all want, just get your, if y'all don't have a lot of space, this can be your altar, this small tray. Okay. Nothing fancy. This one is used. I'm just showing y'all real quick to just set up a quick altar. Well, let's just keep going. I'm gonna keep it going. Anyway, with your ancestor altar, you must have 4 components. Okay, fire, water, air, and earth. Fire is a candle. And it don't have to be a big candle like this. Just a regular candle, but a candle. Water, you want a goblet of water. I'm just going to pour a little bit of water in this cup. I prefer glass, and you want it full to the rim. And I'll tell you some tips and tricks for your water for your altar also. You want some type of air element and incense. So I'm just going to pop one of those, this cone that I let burn out. Any type of incense and a plant. Now, I'm not going to grab my rose of Jericho from up there. I don't feel like I'm going to put this rose that I have drying out here. And it needs to be a live plant, guys. You want it to be alive. You want it to be fresh. I have a drying out rose, which is inappropriate. My spirit guys like, you better not put that damn rose on my thing. I don't feel like getting up to go get my flowers off of my dining room table, guys. I keep fresh flowers in the house, but you want to have some type of plant. It don't have to be fresh flowers. It can be a money plant. It can be bamboo. Matter of fact, let me grab the bamboo. I got that right here. Boom. And it needs to be filled with water too. There we go. I have a bamboo plant. Look how tall. When I bought her, she was about this high. Look how tall she got. And look at all these pretty bamboo leaves. She's so cute. I gotta fill her up with some more water. Anyway, you want a plant. Okay. Boom. The 4 elements. Now, these are the must-haves for your ancestor altar. You want your plant vase to be clean. This is on a shelf next to some other things I got going on. Either way, must-haves. This right here can be your ancestor altar and nobody will know the wiser. You can have a regular little incense holder sitting on a shelf. And it don't have to be a candle like this. It can be any type of candle. It can be, I was telling one of my clients who live with somebody, just go and buy a sage or rosemary scented, like something with some type of essential oil that is, spiritual based. But it looks pretty in a vase and people won't know that, you know what I mean? That is, and you can still dress it up and have it sitting right there and they won't even know. They'll just think that it's just how the house is decorated. But this is it could be your personal little sacred space in a little small corner in your home for your ancestor altar. Now, this is the must-haves: the incense, the fire, water, air, and earth. Incense, water, candle, and plant. Extra things that I would suggest that will make your ancestor altar more appropriate is a picture of the ancestor that you are using, or ancestors. If you have a lot of them, you can put them like on a shelf and just have all the pictures pretty, or have the pictures on the wall. Or I had a board that move this to the side a bit. I had a board, I forgot what you call them, but you can like post things on them, the little thumbtacks, and it had these little strings that you could slide the pictures in. I would use one of those and have all my ancestors on that. And then the whatever cigar and cigarette and all that other type of stuff can go in there. So that's another thing you can add to the ancestor altar is cigars, cigarettes, alcohol, whatever fun, inappropriate thing that they used to take part into. You can add that to the ancestor altar. Nothing illegal, guys, but you know what I mean? Alcohol and cigarettes and cigars, chewing tobacco. If they like certain types of candy, you can put that up there with them. If they like a certain type of flower, you could dry the flower out and stick the flower next to their photo if they loved a certain type of flower. All of those different ways of adding to your ancestor altar. Hello. So, what else can you add? You can add a cross if they were like into a certain religion. Please add your crosses. Add a bell if they were into certain things like Catholic religions and things like that. Like add what make them happy. If it was money, keep some ancestor money. Keep a little bowl of money or change on the ancestor altar. If they did well for themselves. Of course, any spells, like when you make your little money jars. This is a cute quick little money jar that you can keep on your desk. Boop, right there on the altar. That's it. Like, you don't have to make it too extra. Okay, make sure your water is always clear. And you can also put a plate of food up here, guys. Make sure your water is always clear too. But you can put a plate of food up. So whatever you cooked for Sunday dinner, let's say you're Caribbean and your family, y'all like some escabeche fish or something like that. And that was something that your grandmother loved. Or if you made porridge and that child loved porridge, put a little bowl of porridge next to the altar. Put their favorite cereal. Oh my goodness. Cereal is one of the best ones. Again, the pictures and all that stuff. Oh, this is a great question. Hi, Tesh. If we don't have a plant yet, can we use raw stones to represent Earth? You can. I would prefer a plant because you want it to be live. So that's the life. The plant represents life. But you can use raw stuff. Because see, the crystals, they do represent certain energy, but the crystals get charged by your energy. You feel me? So I don't know about that, because for me, the crystals, depending on the energy in your home, that's going to be the energy of the crystals. If you're not blessing and anointing, let's say your citrine to bring in money, when you sit it out in the sun, and you have to like have that intention with it. And I guess you can. Some that I would recommend, desert rose will be a wonderful ancestor type of crystal. calming, peaceful, and it's wonderful with communication. Cellulite will be a wonderful crystal to keep on your altar. I still would recommend buying a plant though. I hate the look of the glass. I'm sorry guys. I got to take it off because I'm annoyed. Um but yeah. So yeah, I think that you can use crystals, but not necessarily in place. It is the earth element, but we want life. That's really what that represents, the life of the person. Okay. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Pooh. Hello, hello. Not really here. Okay, so where can you place your altar? I would prefer for you not to have it out in the open where people can be walking past it and see it. And now, if somebody walks past, like if you have it in a corner in the dining room and somebody happens to see, that's not a big deal. But what you don't want is everybody having access, everybody being able to just walk up to it and look at it and touch it. That their energy will then start influencing your magic. And this is where your sacred spaces, for you to communicate with your ancestors or for you to communicate with your your loved ones. So you want to keep it private. Put it in I don't suggest, it's like I suggest the closet, but I don't, because I don't like when closets don't have any type of sunlight. I love when my ancestors get to just experience the sun. That's important to me. But if all you have is a small space in your closet, by all means use it. I would suggest the top shelf of your closet. If anything, in the corner, in the back of the top shelf of your closet, you can have your altar right there, do your magic, do your prayer and all that, and keep it private if it has to get that deep. If not, just put it in your room. If you're going to have intercourse in your room, that's another thing. You know what I mean? So you don't want to be having intercourse in front of your ancestor altar. Your grandparents' pictures is there and shit. It's not really that fun. So you want to put something either up blocking it, like a sheet or something, or you can put it someplace where everybody's just not going to be able to just walk up to it and do stuff. And make sure you keep your home, keep people out of your home. That's very, very important. Do not have people in your home who don't really fuck with you. I'm just going to say it like that. If you don't really know them to really fuck with you, don't have them in your home. It's just that simple. People are out of order. Out of order. Hi, Benita Paris. Hello. Hi, Lola. Hello. You're welcome, baby. Yes, you can, Daniela. Daniela asked, can she do this for a recently deceased grandfather? Yes, you can. I think, my goodness, you can do it yes. You can do it quickly. So Lily Torres says, hi, Tesh, I have a shot glass of dirt soil. Is that okay? Are you growing anything in the dirt? What kind of dirt? Where did the dirt come from? It depends on where the dirt came from and all of that. It has to be a specific energy. It has to be positive energy. You see what I'm saying? So it's okay if you're growing a plant from it. That's wonderful. We're all for that. If it's like graveyard dirt, it's a hell no. If it's any type of dirt other than something to do something positive and to grow a plant out of, I wouldn't recommend just putting it in there. But yes, you can use dirt and then grow, and grow whatever you want to grow from it. That's a wonderful question. Yes, Andrea, you can put it in your bedroom. You can definitely put it in your bedroom. Just don't, you can have sex in your bedroom. Just put a sheet or something over it, especially if you have like your ancestors' pictures and stuff. I just feel like a certain type of respect, for myself and them. Um, but don't feel self-conscious. You can walk around your room nude. Like, don't be like, I can't walk around my nude room. No, live your life. You feel me? It's just that certain acts, you don't want to be giving head and looking at your grandfather's photo. That's not, it will fuck up the mood. You feel me? So you just gotta really pay attention to that. So, oh, okay. So you can definitely use the dirt from outside your home. Just make sure that you're using it to grow something. That's all that matters. You know what I mean? Because you want it to be alive, the plants. Okay. So Bettina says, Hi, Tesh. I have been pulled to do all my magic at my ancestor altar. I have another altar, but not pulled to do it. My pull to it. Hope I make sense. It does make sense. Honestly, my personal altar that I have for myself, I do magic there, but that's more for me. Like if I'm doing just lighting a candle for myself, a basic stuff, my normal Sunday ritual or whatever. My conjuring, if I'm trying to get some money, get this, get that, I'm at my ancestor altar. I'm at my ancestor altar, and my ancestor altar will have a whole goddamn watermelon on that joint. Okay? Like, I don't play when it come to mine. That's why I expect a lot, because I give a lot. When I'm burning ancestor money, I'm just not burning one bill a day. I'm burning like 30. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing it. I buy big bills so I can burn that. If I'm doing one, I'm gonna use the one big huge bill that equal up to 30 or 50 of those. So I expect a lot. I have high expectations. So yes. It does make sense. You can go wherever you feel comfortable. Your ancestors they really like the altar that you created for them. I'll say that much. They love the altar that you create. If that's where they want you to do it, then do it, girl. I mean, it's right. You're welcome. You're welcome, baby. So yes, your ancestor altars, that just mean to make sure that you have those four elements. It don't have to be all spruced up, but our ancestors, if they love certain things, put it on there for them. It's just a way of showing them, love and appreciation for what they have done. Okay? So, feeding our ancestors. We started with the ancestor money. We've talked about food. Okay. Another way to feed your ancestors is by making sure that the altar is clean. Clean it every week. Don't do this, guys. This is not good. And that's because I don't really go. This is sitting on top of my apothecary items, my oils and stuff. So I got to take all of this out now and clean all of this, because this is dried on here. And I hate that. You don't want that. You want your water to be clear, the goblet to be clear, um, everything. You don't have to leave your candle lit 24/7. Put your candle out when you're not by the candle. Don't just leave your candles lit, guys. You don't want, if you feel safe, like if you're doing a specific spell and you're conjuring something, then I will suggest leave that candle lit. But when you do, I always tell y'all, put it in a bowl of water. Okay. So if anything happens to the candle, the bowl of water will catch it. All right. Um, but yeah, fruits and candy, glitter. They love glitter. They love sparkly things. So you can put glitter in your candles. You can put a little glitter something on whatever ornament you saw, the love, or them grab another one of these little things. The glitter, you want to make sure they have all that type of stuff. Flowers. they love flowers, not just the plant. You know, the plant is just to represent life, but then you can get in by their favorite flower. It's like the next best thing. Okay. All right. So let's see. Daniela, Tesha have seen you talking about ancestor money, but why does it have this name if it's just paper? So ancestor money is not just paper though. Well, I think somebody else had asked about printing it themselves and using it. It's really not. Ancestor money, like the large bills, are made on a specific type of sheet. This is like some type of, it feels like a fabric, like a paper fabric. It has, so it's not just paper. Like you can try to print this, but it won't be the same. You know, it won't be the same. And it's been blessed and anointed in specific ways already to represent a specific currency. And this is actually old Chinese tradition. This is Chinese magic, to be honest with you guys. As you can see by their emperor on the bill. I forgot his name, but this, if you just print this, it won't be the same. It won't be the same. Now, this even feels, even though this is like paper, it still feels different. It's not the same. It's not the same, guys. Okay. But if you want to do your own, let's say you can't get to some ancestor money, you can try to print some. That's not a problem. But you'll have to anoint it, pray over it, bless it, have it sitting on your altar to be blessed, and then burning it, you know, for your ancestors. I'm not sure, because I've never heard of anybody really printing their own. You know what I mean? But my grandmom, everybody I know have always just purchased it. My mom, when I was a kid, she will go to the Chinese grocery stores. That's what we shopped at. My mom is, you know, my family is Panamanian, and they didn't really have a lot of the Spanish stores like they do now. So when I was a kid, my mom would go to the Asian stores and get her candles and get her ancestor money. And she always bought it like this. Like it's always been big like this. And she will just buy one pack probably like every 6 months. And I think she'll only burn it when she needed money or when she needed something. Or like if she was blessing like one of her grandparents or something like that. So I can't really speak on anyone who makes it themselves. I can't, I've never done it before. I've only seen my mom do it that way. Okay, Lola asks, I have a 7-day candle burning for them, but lately it's turning black. Do I need to concern about it? No. That means they're clearing something up. I was showing my Patreon earlier a candle that was burning black. So just watch the candle. Look at this one. Half and half. Okay. You even see the demarcation line. I remember the day. And it was a lot going on these other days. And the demarcation point, boop, and look how clear. And then the bottom. So don't get worried. What it's doing, if I can turn it the right way, there we go. What it's doing is burning off any type of juju anybody could have sent you. And it's not necessarily somebody did a hex on you, nothing like that. But it could be just simply envy, a little evil eye. With all of us clearing up so much, it's kind of pissing darker energies off because they not getting they sinks in like they used to. So they may be still trying to throw shit at you. And your ancestors is like, oh no, not over here. So we're going to burn that off. Not over here. Don't worry. It's just burning stuff off. You will need to light another candle just to make sure that one burns clear. But that's just a sign to me that they're clearing things up. And that's good. We want them to be clearing things up. Okay. So Sade Paler, can you explain the difference between a personal and a family altar? I can. Let's get into that real quick because the ancestor altar is just to represent your ancestors. And this is really important because I don't want y'all getting it twisted. Okay. That is just for your ancestors, for you to do your conjuring with them and for you to have a place where you can go to speak to them if you don't feel just comfortable speaking to them from your bed, and you can represent them. It's a great representation of your love for them. And it's a great way that you can have a safe place where you can leave all of your offerings for them. And it keeps it separate from your personal altar, which is about you. And your personal altar is so important. To me, your personal altar is more important than your ancestor altar. You are the most important aspect of this whole spiritual journey because you are the first ancestor to restructure your family. With that being said, you need to show yourself homage every day. Show yourself love every day. Keep your altar clean, keep a candle lit, keep a fresh plant. I have a big bamboo plant like this, and the glass don't look like this because I clean that one every week. And I clean the water out every week up there too. And it's huge, just like this one. Okay. This is how I can't even believe it's this big. When I first got it, it was here. So it's shown. But yeah. Yes, guys. So your personal altar is where you show homage to yourself and appreciation. And that's a very sacred place. Whenever you need to cleanse yourself, heal yourself, you go to your personal altar. You can do stuff at your altar like just leave a glass of salt water. Make sure you have all the 4 elements there as well. That's important. But if let's say you're doing a cleansing bath, a cleansing of yourself, leave a glass of salt water on your altar. Leave some selenite on your altar. Charge your crystals and your mojo bag that you wear on your body on your altar. That'll be where you go conjure your self-love, self-worth, self-value. That'll be where you sit and you meditate, you talk to God. Okay. So that's your most important altar. I wouldn't do another altar until I have my own personal one representing me. But that's where I am in my journey. When I first began, I just had an altar. I wouldn't even have called it an ancestor. It was just an altar. I just conjured. I didn't think about me until I was in my almost 40. Before it was all about getting money, getting something, doing something, it'd be like that. Okay. So Lily asks, with the ancestor money, what does it represent? And when you burn it, do you save the ashes and put on altar or just throw it away? Great question. So I save my ashes from my ancestor money. I do. What was the first question? Hold on. With the ancestor money, what does it represent? So when you read them, some of them say hell notes. I think this one says hell bank note, which it took me for a loop that my grandmother was buying those, but it doesn't represent hell. It represents just money. This one is a heavens bank note. I'm going to show you where that one says it. One of them. So here we go. Can y'all see that? The heavens banknote. So it just depends. What it does is it sends money to your ancestors. It's our way of, it's actually Chinese culture. It's not African culture. Let's be clear. But it's our Chinese culture and African, Santeria. We all do it, even though it comes from Chinese culture. Let's just be clear about that also. And it's our way of giving to our ancestors for them to have currency on the other side of the veil. Okay, so that's our vision, or what we believe is that when we burn this ancestor money, it sends that money up to the heavens. So when you're doing candle magic, how candle magic works is, this is the note, okay, and the flame is the post office. It's like that type of thing. And when you're burning the candle, which is the note, the flame is what's sending it. The smoke, when the flame goes and the smoke up in the air, the smoke is what's sending that up to the heavens. And we're asking for whatever we're asking for from God. Okay. Same thing with the hell notes, or the ancestor money. We burn them and it sends the money. And I think they because the people would say money is the root of all evil, but that's not the case. Evil people are the root of evil. Okay. But so my spirit guides are talking to me. That's why they called it that. Okay. What you'll do is you'll burn it and it sends it, the fire sends the note up to the heavens, and it gives them currency in the heavens to burn. All right. But be clear that this is, again, an Asian tradition that all of the other cultures picked up on as we have grown. Okay. So you'll notice this in a lot of the other cultures. But we burn a lot of things as homage. We can, because our Orishas, they like certain fruits and vegetables and meats and things like that also, that they prefer. Okay. So you don't have to burn this for your Orishas, but you can burn this for your ancestors. All right. Okay. Yes, it's on Joss paper. Exactly. It is on Joss paper. That's exactly it. It's not regular paper. That's the word, Joss paper. Thank you so much, baby. That's exactly what it's on. So it's not the same. That's why when you're saying, can you print it yourself? I'm like, I don't think so. Because it has to be it's a certain type of paper that they use in order to print the ancestor money. Okay. But I mean, if you can't get to it, you can try to do whatever you can. If I couldn't get to it, I would just omit it and give to my ancestors in other ways. And you can ask them, what do you want? What do you like? Or remember, and they will come to you in your dreams. They will come to you in your thoughts and tell you. Like when I'm cooking certain things, they'll be like, oh, you can give me some of them rice and peas. And I'll be like, okay, I want some chicken. Or I want, like, they'll flat out tell me what, but you got to be getting it in. Thank you so much for telling me that, baby. Okay. So Chanel says, yes. When you burn the money, it is a certain color. You see almost, wait. You see almost like a vibration. Yes. Let's finish talking about the ancestor money. So when you burn it, you can save the ashes. And I use the ashes in certain type of money work. I'll use the ashes in pretty much, I may spread the ashes on my front porch with my incense ashes from whatever incense. Like if I do like a crown of success incense, or when you got the leftover incense in your incense, if they're all positive incense, you can put the ashes in that same bowl and then sprinkle that on your front porch and use that as a floor sweep. Yep. So I'm gonna do a whole video on ancestor money because there's so many ways you can use ancestor money. I mean, I can go on and on about ancestor money, as y'all can see. So I think I just explained how it will please the ancestors. It'll just give them currency on the other side to do things that they would like to do or want to do. It's a wonderful way of just showing them homage and giving them money. Is basically it is giving them money. I actually do. So when I save the ashes from my ancestor money, matter of fact, let me show you my ancestor money jar. My short shorts, guys. Let me just show it to you real quick. My other ash thing, I have a silver thing that I burn petitions and stuff like that, and that's outside. My ancestor money, ashes. And literally, I will probably keep this until whenever I feel like throwing them out. And then whatever incense I have, I will put in there. I will just drop them in there and sprinkle them on the front porch to bless my home. I will put them in some type of money powders, depending on what I'm doing with them. Yeah, but I don't throw the ash away. And I got this little bowl, I think from Target. It's like a little pot. Like a little mini braising pot. So cute. It's so cute. So yes. But yeah. So when you're working with your ancestors, guys, you have to just make sure that you're keeping the altar clean. Okay. And it doesn't have to be big. As you can see, this little tiny tray. That's it. It doesn't have to be anything super big. I would prefer that you use glass and just leave a little space for you to be able to add your candle with whatever spell that you're doing on it. And that's it. Okay. And I wouldn't use my ancestors for dark magic. I want to say that also, unless it's something that somebody did to your family. So if something happened to your children or you, then of course you can use your ancestors to go get their ass. But if try to use them for just positive things. Keep the dark magic out of the loop when it comes to them. Okay? All right. I think that's about it as far as ancestors are concerned. Let's see. I think I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. Do y'all have any more questions for me as far as anything with your ancestors, giving to your ancestors? When you're doing readings, you can talk to your ancestors through your tarot readings. I think it's better for you to stay out of that until spirit has let you know, like until you know you've ascended to that point in life. You know, don't get into having like you don't have to do tarot readings to talk to them. Let's say that they'll just communicate. You'll feel them. Pay attention to the synchronicities. Pay attention to how they make you feel. They'll do things to let you know that they're with you. You're welcome, Lola. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. You're welcome, Lily. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, guys, I think that's it. I love you. And I will see y'all I'm gonna do another one next week. So I'll see y'all next week. Bye.